So Blood and Fortune is all about trying to gain as much influence as possible to gain the most amount of points and therefore win the game. So at the end of the game, whoever has the most points is the winner. Each player will pick one faction, which is just represented by these coat of arms here. So it doesn't matter, they're all the same. So let's say we are going to play the green faction, and we'll pick some other ones for our opponents. So when you grab your card, you're going to grab this round marker card, and that is going to help you track your points. Then you're also going to grab the other 5 cards, which are your influence. So you have 3 of these single influence cards and 2 of these double influence cards. You'll be offering these influence cards to your opponents, trying to get them into their areas, and they're going to give some to you to get into your area. So let me go ahead and set up a game, and I'll show you how the game is played. So I've gone and set up a 3-player game, just so that way you can see what is going on. Whoever is the first player, they're going to collect the ring card. The ring card just helps you track the rounds, but also, if this player is involved in a tie, the ring helps you break ties. Then everybody, if you decide that you want to play with the rolls, you're going to shuffle these up and give each player 2 rolls. They're going to choose one to place out in front of them, and they're going to put one back into the deck. Once they have done that, starting with the first player, each player is going to choose a roll that is in somebody else's play area and place it into their hand. Then the game begins. So we're starting with the red player here. What they're going to do is they're going to decide what they want to offer another player. Now, you can offer 2 of the same cards, so I could offer 2 1s, I could offer 2 2s, or I could offer a 1 and a 2. If I really wanted to, I could even offer my influence card. I'll explain that in just a little bit. So, what they're going to do, since it's early in the game, they're just going to offer these 2 single influence cards to the green player. So the green player will look at these cards, and while there isn't much of a choice, they're going to give one back to the red player, and then they're going to place this one in their play area face down. And one cool little aspect of the game is that there are these swords at the bottom of the cards, and what you're going to do is you're just going to do your best to line up the sword. That way you have a complete sword. Then it goes on to the next player's turn, which will be the green player. Now that the green player has a card of influence in their area, they are allowed to go ahead and use their special ability. Let's actually zoom back in on that. So the green player can offer only 1 card instead of 2 during your turn. So if they wanted to, they can go ahead and do that now. They're not going to do that just yet, since this is pretty early in the game. So, they're going to look at their cards, and they're going to go ahead and they're going to offer a 1 and a 2, a single and a double influence to the blue player. So they're going to offer these, and the blue player is going to go ahead and just take the single influence this time. They will place that. And the blue player will offer something to the red player. The red player will pick one, and the red player will place that into their area. And then this will go on for 3 rounds. So just an example, on this turn, red is going to go ahead and offer his roll card to the green player. So the green player can take the 1 card that was offered, or he can take the roll card. If he decides to take the roll card, these should be face down, the roll card will go into their hand, and then they must choose a card from their hand to give to the red player, and the red player will place that into their play area. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to give red this double influence card, and that goes into their area. And I'll give them back the card I did not take. So once a round has been complete, you are going to activate all of the roll cards. You're going to start with number 1. You're going to call out number 1 and see if anybody has that roll. If they do not, you will continue on until the next number is called. So for our game, the first number to be called would be number 3. And number 3's card says, refuse this card when offered 2 cards. All players must immediately take 1 additional turn. Well, this card has no effect during this phase. This card is to be used while you're actually playing the game. So number 3 has no effect right now. We will continue on. And number 8 will be the next one, which was owned by the green player. And number 8 says to swap any 2 cards from anyone's hand or play area. So what they can do is they can be like, well, you know, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to swipe or change out. With my limited knowledge of information, I'm going to go ahead and switch out this red card with this green card. That was probably really dumb of me, but hey, it's using that card. Then the next card to be used will be number 9. So reverse the order of cards in any play area. And the blue player had that. So they're going to be like, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reverse these cards. So it is now green, red, blue for the red player. Then everybody will flip over their cards, making sure to keep them in the same order that they were laid down in. Now, if you ever have more than one double influence card, you keep only the one that you received most recently. So, it'll be the one closest to the edge. And note, even though the blue player switched these cards around, that's still going to play out how this is. So the red player will no longer get that one, and the blue player will no longer receive this card. So those will go back to their owner's hands. Then you go ahead and score your points. So for the red player, they'll have 1 and a total of 3. Then you look in another player's area to see if you have any of your cards there, and you'll add those points as well. So 3 plus 1 is 4. So they will take their score card and they will point their crown at 4. The green player here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. So they're going to point theirs at 7. And the blue player has 4 points, 5, 6, 7, 8 points. So the blue player moves their card like so, and they are on the 8-point mark. You will then collect up all of the influence cards, give them back to their owners, and you will start a new round. You will do this 3 times. The most points wins. One note about the cards here, once you've used your power in a round, sometimes it's a good idea to cover it up with your most recent card. So you just cover that up just like that. But once you've exceeded 15 points, you flip over your card and you no longer have the power.
This program is part of the Pathological Nerdcasters Network. Find more at pncn.rocks, where all the geeks come to play.
That is just a quick overview about how to play Blood and Fortune. The art in this game is really, really good. I really love the different coat of arms that each color has. So if you really wanted to, you could possibly try to throw in a little bit of role play into the game. If you wanted to, like the blue faction here has a really cool octopus coat of arms on there. So you could say you're, from the sea. And then the green faction has this really cool deer or buck design with all the horns and thorns and stuff. So it does give each faction a really cool and unique look. The different types of roles and stuff are pretty interesting about how they change up the game and how they change the way certain things work. It's all about remembering what you put into your area and what everybody else has in theirs. you have such limited information that sometimes it's kind of hard to know. And with more players, it does make it even harder to keep track of what is where and where everything is going on. So with that, unfortunately, this game is a pass from me. This game just didn't click with me. It didn't click with my group at all. As soon as we were done, we were ready to move on to the next game, threw this into the box, and that was it. A lot of other games that sometimes they're like, oh, let's play that again, or I wouldn't mind playing that again. This one didn't get that from us. And it didn't really hurt my feelings because it didn't do it for me, unfortunately. But if this does look like something that you would enjoy, I'm going to have a link down below for the Exist Games website, so you can check it out and see if it's something that you would enjoy, and if it is, you can go ahead and order it from them, or they can direct you to where you can pick up Blood and Fortune. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and help support Cloak and Meeple. I'm going to have my Patreon link right down below, along with my subscribe button, so you can click that and subscribe. Thanks for watching.